As head football coach for the past 19 years at the University of Wisconsin River Falls, Mike Farley represents success in everything he does. Not only has Mike been successful on the field, winning 8 WSUC titles from 1975 to 1987, and having been nationally ranked for the past 5 years, Mike has also been successful in the classroom as a faculty member in the physical education department.
One of the things that I did notice was some old student voice articles from back in 1970, 71 when Coach had first gotten here. And whoever the sports writer for the paper was at that time, they didn't really know what their perceptions of Coach Farley were at that time. They didn't know if he was going to be successful. But I remember one comment, the last comment that he made in this particular article was, "I don't know how well Coach is going to do, but I know he's working hard at it because every night I see the light in his office on." And that's the way he was. If you want to do something and do it well, you devote a lot of time to it.
I think his greatest attribute is the fact that he is consistent, and I think that any time that you work with young men, either in a student relationship or in a coaching relationship, the more consistent you are, the better response you'll get from him. Coach Farley has been amazingly consistent throughout the years, not just in philosophy of his offense or anything, but in his personality, what he expects. You know from day one what he wants from you, not only as a player, but as a coach working with him. In the classroom, he was the same way. This is what we want to accomplish in the class, this is what we want you to get done, and this is what I expect from you.
Well, one unique thing that I remember as a player is he was really intimidating, and you didn't want to make a mistake. You wanted to perform for him. You wanted to do your best. And as a player, as a coach, the unique thing is he's got the best analytic mind I've ever seen. He's always thinking, always situations, always has an answer or looking for answers for different things, and I think that's a really unique thing that he has, and not very many people can do that.
I don't think Coach Farley, I don't know of him ever doing anything that would only put the emphasis on, hey, we're going to win and we're not going to care about the kids, because that just was never the situation. But I think it led to success because certainly his work habits or something, no one ever put in more time or worked harder on a particular activity, but that's only part of it, of course, too. I think his relationship with the kids would be the second major item, in that I'm sure he never lied to a kid when he was trying to recruit him, never lied to a kid after he got him here. He was just awfully honest and told him just the way it happened to be, and I don't think that's a 100% situation throughout the college ranks.
I just think he's just, I think his honesty with his players, tells it like it is. He keeps things simple. Just got a hard work ethic that everybody follows. He's a good role model. I think that has a lot to do with the success he's had. He cares about his players and the people around him, and I think that shows.
We're going to play defense and use our heads and hit. We're going to play offense, look the ball in, get north and south. We're going to play half of football. If we're content now, we're hurt. But Coach Greaser says is right. This baby will come down to who wants it the most. Who wants it the most? Are you hungry? Or are they just going to win it, go on the national championship? Your back's right against the wall. Now you got to play with your head. You can't be late, you can't be cheap, you got to be playing it right. And you got to dominate on offense. Don't give me this stuff with the guy coming across. Come off the ball and hit their ass. Let's play a little football.
Mike's accomplishments as an outstanding educator and coach have not gone unnoticed. In 1979 and again in 1986, Mike was named Kodak's District 4 Coach of the Year by the American Football Coaches Association. Mike's 117, 71, and 3 overall record is the best record of any football coach at UW River Falls. Mike has also been named the WSUC and NAIA District 14 Coach of the Year 3 times, and Mike led the 1979 team to the NAIA Division I playoffs, marking the first time a Falcon football team qualified for postseason play. Most people would think that Mike Farley must have been one hell of a football player in his younger days, since he turned into one of the best college coaches in the game today. Truth is, Mike Farley did not play football after his freshman season at the Olton, Illinois High School. You see, Farley broke his arm as a high school freshman and never returned to the gridiron as a player. But Farley was deeply involved in athletics throughout his life. His real love as a youth was baseball, and he turned into a professional player in that game. He returned to Illinois in 1955 and earned his undergraduate and master's degrees in 1958. Farley entered the coaching ranks while at Illinois under a fine teacher, Ray Elliott, the Illinois head baseball coach. Farley coached the freshman baseball team at Illinois, and it was there that he formed his coaching philosophies that carried him on to the great success he enjoyed for years. But Mike's list of accomplishments doesn't stop there, according to Mike's wife.
Right from day one, he was a father. He was raised with an older brother in his later years, and they had little children in the home, and he loved those children. And I think when we had ours, you know, he was just delighted. I had never been around little children and never babysat, never did anything with little kids, and I think I was probably more nervous and not going to be a good mother. But he took right over and helped me, got up nights feeding the children, changing diapers. That was something he did. And he always had time for the kids. The kids, I think, truly did and do, you know, respect and love their father. And it's been a good family. We really are really proud of the kids and certainly proud of Mike.
Before coming to UWRF in 1970, Farley honed his coaching skills at the high school level in Wisconsin. He coached at Pardeeville from 1958 to 1961, where the Bulldogs won a conference championship in 1960. It was the school's first conference title in 16 years. From 1961 to 1963, he was an assistant coach at Portage High School. He moved to Sparta High School in 1963. Within 5 years, he helped that team to a 23-8-1 record. His 1963 squad was undefeated. From 1967 to 1970, he coached at Racine Park, where his teams were 16-7-4. He was also the golf coach and led his Lynxmen to 2 state titles and a second-place finish. Farley's first year at UWRF was typical of many rookie coaches' experiences. The Falcons did win their first game of the 1970 season, defeating Augsburg 27-15. But that's as many wins as the Falcons would get that initial season. The Falcons lost each WSUC game that year, and sometimes in a big way. 53-0 to Platteville, 54-18 to Oshkosh, and 58-2 at Whitewater. The next 3 years, Farley, his coaching staff, and players worked hard and made steady improvement. The 1971 team finished 3-7. The 1972 team was 4-6, and the 1974 team was 4-5-1. Opposing coaches and players were beginning to see that River Falls was no longer a pushover on Saturday afternoons with Mike Farley running the show. Farley's recruiting efforts and long hours of work started to pay off in 1974. The Falcons finished 7-3. 1975 was a banner year for Farley and the Falcons as the team won its first WSUC title in 18 years. River Falls finished 8-2 overall and tied for the conference title with Whitewater and La Crosse with 7-1 records. The Falcons shut out 3 opponents that year: Superior 26-0, Eau Claire 27-0, and Stout 3-0. In 1976, the Falcons won their second straight conference title, finishing 7-3 overall and 6-2 in the league. It was the first time since the 1924-26 seasons that a Falcon team had won 2 straight conference titles. The Falcons lost the 3 games by a total of 14 points. Among the wins was a 16-14 win over La Crosse, the first time in 8 years the Falcons beat that team. Farley and his Falcons had back-to-back 4-6 records in 1977 and 1978, but that set up a banner year in 1979. No one knew how the Falcons would do in 1979, but the question marks were quickly answered. The Falcons won 8 straight games to start the season. The one regular season loss came on the second to last weekend of the year when Stout took a 7-3 win over the Falcons at Raymer Field. But the Falcons beat Stevens Point 47-7 to end the season with a 9-1 overall record and a 7-1 conference card. The Falcons then accepted the university's first ever berth in the NAIA Division I playoffs and traveled to San Angelo, Texas in December to play a quarterfinal playoff game. The Falcons succumbed to the scholarship awarding Angelo State 31-6. But despite the loss, the Falcons were now known nationally, and they would be known across the country for the next 10 years. In 1980, the Falcons again won the WSUC title, finishing with an 8-2 overall record and a 6-2 conference record. In 1981, the Falcons were 5-5 overall, and in 1982, they finished 7-2-1. In the past 5 years, the Falcons have been among the best teams in the country at the college division level. The 1983 Falcons finished 8-2, followed by records of 8-2 in 1984, 8-1-1 in 1985, 8-2 in 1986, 7-3 in 1987, and 7-3 in 1988. The Falcons also dominated play in the WSUC and won 4 straight WSUC crowns, 1984, 1985, 1986, and 1987. Throughout the years, the Falcons have been rated in the top 10 of either NCAA Division III or the NAIA Division II polls. The Falcons were the top-rated team in the NAIA Division II at one time in 1987. At the start of the 1986 season, Farley had won 95 games and had a chance to reach the magical 100-win plateau. The Falcons won their first 3 games before losing by a point to St. Ambrose. The Falcons then topped Platteville, which meant Farley would be going after his 100th win when the Falcons hosted rival lacrosse the following Saturday in the annual homecoming game. The game had even more significance as both teams were in first place and entered the game undefeated in conference play. And the 5,000 fans that watched the game in magnificent sunshine were treated to one of the most closely and hard-fought contests in college football. Farley and his team came out on top, 22-21. It was predicted back in 1970 that football coach Mike Farley will no doubt leave his mark in Falcon athletics, and the odds are pretty good that it will be a successful one. The Student Voice article goes on to say that Farley will leave his ball players and students with his winning attitude and a fine sense of values, which is exactly what Mike Farley has done.
I've told Mike this a number of times. I think Mike is the greatest football coach that I've ever known. And he's influenced my life in a variety of ways, and I wish him all the best luck. I think he's a great man.
I think this here that Coach Farley has, like all the things that I've taken from him into my coaching and the way I coach are a lot from him, and I think my success that I've had as a high school coach is probably from an image of him.
Coach, you had a great influence on me. You've disciplined me. You've, I think, made me a better person, a better coach for sure. And the game of football around here won't be the same without you. You did a great job.
I just have to say thanks, Coach, for all you've done for me. Everything I am now, where I'm at, my job, what I'm doing, what I enjoy, I owe it all to you.
Mike, you have brought to football coaching a attitude that there is a professionalism to coaching football beyond just winning games, and that there is an attitude that can be learned by competing as best as you can against whoever you're playing, so that the young people have a pride in that can carry over for them into their other areas of endeavors. For all of this, the people in coaching are grateful to you.
We are here tonight to honor Mike Farley, not only as the top winning football coach in university history, but also Mike Farley as an outstanding educator and family man, as we induct Mike Farley into the University Athletic Hall of Fame.